Hey guys, welcome to another video. This time is the Mezco 112, Diabolik. He's an Italian supervillain who pretty much gets business down to business. If there was ever a super cool Italian version of, I guess, Lupin the Third, would definitely be this guy. And honestly, it's one of those things where I know a lot of people don't know about Diabolik, but I've only read maybe 3 or 4 issues of this guy, and let me tell you, he gets business done. But yeah, basically he is a he's a super criminal. No real superpowers. The guy is just really good at doing what he does, and he is skilled at making masks of people. He is skilled in biology, chemistry, and things like that. But basically, he's a super smart guy who takes from other villains and tries not to harm innocents unless he has to. But yeah, overall, it's a really cool piece that I was expecting to be cool, but it kind of blew me away about how cool he came out. So let's start by talking about that. One of the really cool things about this guy is that he's on the Spider-Man body. So he is simple, to the point. It's one of those things where the costume is just the costume. Wears an all-black costume, leaves only his eyes and his eyebrows out because they're very distinct attacked eyebrows. So it's just really cool. So anyway, let's jump into that. Articulation-wise, it's one of those things where the head can look up, can look down, tilt left and right. No big issue here, as you can see. Arms go all the way up. And the more and more I see about this suit for him, the more I'm like, the range-wise is just not too much of an issue. So the arm can actually rotate all the way up with no issue. Come back down, no issue. Arms have bicep swivel, double jointed, and the gauntlets move as well. So they rotate all the way around, and you have great extension on these as well. And I'm just a little too excited. Let me put this hand back on. Ooh. And actually, let me take this knife out too because I almost broke the knife. So the hand moves around with no problem as well. Now, ab crunch wise and upper torso, you can rotate left, you can rotate right. You can see here, you can rotate really far across left and right. And leg articulation and waist articulation, really solid. As you can see here, he can actually touch his toes. Let's make him do that. So if we had on pretty much hands that would reach the toes, this guy would probably be on the Spider-Man body and this costume, the most articulated Mezco to date, in my opinion. Right? So, the waist actually, it gets the job done. And then knees wise, so legs, fully extended. And since we can see where the peg is on the foot, you can actually see where you're going with this. So what happens is you don't have the debacle of the Spider-Man thing where people were breaking their ankles, which I'm truly sorry about, but that sucks. But as you can see here, if I get him low, tilt the head up, fix that ankle a little bit. Let's see if I can get him to balance. Come on, you could do it, Diabolik. You the meanest, you the baddest. I mean, you ain't show enough, but you one of those things. So, oh, it might not be the, oh wait. Well, he held for a second. But as you can see, pose-wise, he can hold a lot of stuff. I know a lot of you are being pervs but talking about the bulge, but it's not really an issue for me. I know it may be for some other people, but yeah, it's cool. This is one of those figures where plain straight up, the body is solid, it's cool, it gets the job done. Now, I'm going to pop this head sculpt off so you guys can see mask-wise. It's really, really nice. And he has green eyes, so it's really cool. Now we're going to talk about all the accessories that he come with and why he's so cool, right? So let's balance him, get him straight up, rotate them feet. So yeah, as you can see, I took a knife out of one of his sheaths on the wrist. He actually has throwing knives in each wrist that you can place inside, and they hold pretty well, as you can see. Oop, that out of focus stuff, sorry. You can actually hold them in the sheaths pretty well. They slide right in and hold. See? No problem. Feet don't dangle either. He's a man of his word. Now, you get a lot of things accessory-wise with him that kind of cover his history pretty well. So one of the coolest things is you get a standard sidearm knife. And Diabolik doesn't use guns. He uses mostly knives and swords and things like that. So you can place that on either side. I believe it's preferably his left-hand side that he prefers. You get a really cool backpack with him. Backpack opens up. So if you want to store little tiny things in it, you can. Right? You get a stopwatch that can be placed around the wrist, either left or the right. Diabolik is ambidextrous. You get a diamond, which is so tiny I don't want to lose it. So if you are a Black Cat fan and you want to use it as a prop, or you like Spider-Man, you actually have now a really cool prop. Let's put that in that backpack, right? You get a really cool Fabergé egg. This is really nice. Really well done. You get spy binoculars that you can actually place on the head. Come right around. And they even hold pretty well, as you can see here. And they give Diabolik the really cool spy look. So I am all here for these. Even people that want to do like Splinter Cell customs or James Bond custom, any sort of super spy stuff, this definitely gives you some of the materials and tech stuff that you would really want. Then you also get these really cool classic suction cups. Now, what's crazy about these suction cups is the first 2 times I did it, I got them to work instantly, right? Since then, I've used them on other surfaces and they've had problems sticking. So I don't know if it's me, but as you can see here, against each other, they seem to do a pretty good job. Now, depending on your surface, obviously, it's going to have some trouble. But yeah, he comes with basically all the classic spy stuff. You also get an unmasked head, which looks really, really nice. And as you can see here, the head kind of looks pretty big for the body, but in reality, I thought the head was big, but in reality, voila. Let's fix that focus. The head is the same size as the mask head, just that the mask head kind of just makes it look cooler. So it's pretty much the same. It just doesn't work on a really thin body, I guess. It doesn't translate well because his face is white, his suit is black, so it looks more slimming. But it's the same size. It's not that big at all. I was wrong. So yeah, there's that. Now, as far as hands go and accessories, you get 2 closed fists. You get 2 open palms, obviously for stealing things from other thieves, right? You get hands for holding other items. So you want to hold your throwing knives or your swords, anything like that. You'll equip them with. This is it. And then you get hands in particular for throwing the said knives. So let's say you want to put a throwing knife here. Voila, in your throwing knife hand. And like I said, Diabolik is ambidextrous, so he's has symmetrical hands. So it's left and right for each one. It's pretty cool. Now, again, this is one of those things where I didn't expect him to be as cool as he was. So now I'm trying to figure out the really cool pictures to take for this guy. But I'm really excited. Now, a couple of quick things I'm going to try to answer for you guys is whether or not this head fits on the Batman body. And the answer is no, because his peg is much smaller than that of Batman. So you would have to Dremel it. So I have Sovereign Knight Batman right here. And as you can see, his peg is much larger. So if you try to put it on, it'll just sit at the top too high. But it could probably be a really good Bruce Wayne head for you. Should you want to repaint the eyes and customize, Dremel out the head. It'll probably be really a little too small for this neck cowl area. But I think it'll look pretty good for you if you really want to finagle it, right? But here he is next up to the black suit Spider-Man body. And the black suit Spider-Man body is just the same. Now, what's really cool is I took the liberty of doing something cool and swapping out the head on Spider-Man and putting it on here. As you can see, Diabolik's neck peg is a little bit shorter than that of Spider-Man. So if you want to do some really cool Spider-Man poses or create like a, let's say you wanted to make a superior Spider-Man from this, look at the cool poses you can get this guy in, all right? Diabolik is really cool. Now, if you can figure out some other head sculpts, some other cool things, you can get a Scarlet Spider, you can get Superior Spider-Man. Crap, you can even get like a Vigilante Spider-Man out of this. You can get tons of cool stuff. Or Assassin Spider-Man from the Multiverse and Edge of Spider-Verse stuff. Lots of cool possibilities that I just want to kind of point out to you guys, show it off. So let's put this head back on. Now we're going to jump into some size comparisons so you guys can figure out what he looks like size-wise next to some other figures. Man, I'm going to have fun posing this guy. Just, you know, doing cool stuff, hopefully. Now, let's get into the size comparisons. Let's make you look cool, standing straight up. Let's get those arms flush, keep you out of trouble. At least for now, right? Stand you up as straight as possible. Voila. Yeah. First up, Marvel Legends Spider-Man. So Diabolik stands pretty well with Marvel Legends so far. Up against Spider-Man. Up against a Hasbro Lightning Collection White Ranger. Stands pretty well as well. Has good height over both of them. He's taller than both of them technically, but stands and looks pretty well, right? Next up, SH Figure Arts Kamen Rider Cougar. We all know Kamen Rider guys are really much smaller than the Mezco stuff. Because of Diabolik's slim body, it looks okay. If he were much wider, it'd probably be an issue, right? Here he is next to a fellow Mezco, which is Blade. And Blade is actually taller than him. So that's very rare. But I like that, you know, different heights make up for different cool things. Here he is next to an articulated Icons Ninja, who looks pretty good next to him because of the slender body. I think it really works well. Shows it off. Next up, we have Mythic Legion's Orc, which I don't think Diabolik has ever fought anything supernatural that I know of. But, you know, you might want to test stuff out. Here he is next to a Storm Collectibles Reptile. Not too bad, right? Next up, a Mafex Deadpool. Oop. Shaking my camera. There I go. Splashing in the water again. Mafex Deadpool actually looks really good next to him. So if you wanted some cool goons to army build against him, if you have the capital, you can do that. If not, it's totally fine too. You could just be one villain fighting Deadpool and really pissing off Deadpool. Here he is next to a Revoltech Iron Man. Wow, he actually looks really good against Iron Man. Nice. Next up, 1000 Toy Synthetic Human. You can steal the robot. Voila. So Diabolik has some height on just about everybody. Stands well with other Mezcos though, and other certain domestic lines. So that's pretty cool. All in all, I'm really enjoying the piece. The Spider-Man body definitely made this a even better piece to just do really cool spot stuff I never thought about. And it's just enjoyable. So if you don't know anything about Diabolik and you want to jump in the water splashing with the figure, this is for you. If you don't know anything about Diabolik and just want to customize, this may be for you. If it's one of those things where you don't care about, pass on it. It's totally fine. Nobody's going to be mad at you about it. But in the meantime, guys, I hope you enjoy it. Hope you found it informative. Most of all, hope you do good, be good. Drink your water, guys. Later.